This is an explanation on how to do the full trifolium observation protocol for the URBANPOLL project. For this, you're going to need at least one 2-meter long stick meter to delimitate your individual patches where the observations are going to be made. Another meter, I have here a stick meter, but anything is fine, to be measuring the height of the plants, 20 vials that are filled with ethanol, 20 paper labels written with pencil to put inside the vials. There will be some kind of snapshot of how the label should look like in the video later on, and ideally 20 paper bags to collect infructescences from the population. We're way too early in the flowering season, so unfortunately we will not be collecting infructescences, but I will show you how to do all the measurements. So you start with a nicely delimited patch that has a few flowering infructescences that you deem to be attractive to the pollinators. Now bear in mind that an inflorescence can be attractive to the pollinator because it's presenting several pretty flowers from the top, but it can also have a lot of fully pollinated wilted flowers on the bottom, and this will affect how we're sampling the plants. So let's start with the first measurements. You're writing the date of the population observation in your table, name for the location of observation. This will be more for you to orient yourself if you're coming back to resample the populations. The population name that has 6 characters, 4 letters and 2 digits, and then the individual name. So here we are starting with individual F01, F going for flowers. And first of all, we are estimating the relative coverage of trifolium into this patch. We have 3 levels: low, medium, high. And here I would say it is medium. We would say that about half of the patch is covered with trifolium leaves. So I will write medium into my surveillance paper. Then we're counting the number of inflorescences that you would deem attractive to the pollinator, so that have visible flowers on the top. And here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one a little bit predated, but that will be the inflorescence number 10. We estimate whether there is pinkish coloration on any of the flowers regardless of the intensity. And here, although the wilted flowers have a brownish pinkish color, none of the nicely open flowers have them. So I'm going to put no for pink flowers, and then we visually estimate the presence or absence of herbivory. And I already said there is one flower that has been nibbled on, so I'm putting yes into herbivory. Next, if possible, you would measure the height of 3 nicely presenting inflorescences. You're measuring it from the ground until the top of the inflorescence, flowers included, without trying to pull on the inflorescence. And we're rounding it up to the closest half of centimeter. So here we have, I would say, 13.5, which I'm writing down as well. Inflorescence number 2 is at height 10.5. And number 3, I will measure this one here, is at height maybe 10.5. Then you need to preserve flowers and ideally fruits, which we're not going to do today. So you want to choose inflorescences that are attractive to pollinators, but also where the majority of the flowers are still fresh and are not hanging down, basically. So in here we have an example of an inflorescence where you still have 2 rows of flowers that are hanging down, but the vast majority are still pointing up. So I'm taking this into the vial of ethanol, and then I try to find 2 more good looking inflorescences. So you see that some inflorescences might present themselves as attractive to the pollinators, but they might be too ripe on the bottom half, therefore I'm not going to sample them. This one here is a little bit not so ripe on the top because it has several flowers which are not fully open, but we do see the petals, so we can also sample this one. And I don't see this one here as well. So 3 inflorescences that are preserved into ethanol, and I write into my table that I have preserved 3 inflorescences for this individual. So this is the sampling protocol Additionally, with sampling in fructescences, same thing, 3 mature infructescences that you're going to repeat up to 20 times in the population and at least 5 times when sampling. I forgot to add the label, so let's just add the label. Okay. In the following video, I will show you how to select the different individuals and how to estimate the amount of flowering individuals and vegetative cover in the population.